So I accidentally made an entire other game, and that's what we're here to talk about today. We're going to introduce you to Mudlarks. 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 It is a much smaller game than Canticle. It is a quick 2 to 4 player card game that is, some people call it like a pub game or like a filler game. It doesn't take up a lot of space on the table. It plays quick. I'm hoping that it is just a simple little card game that fits into a box that you can get for $20. I'm going to want to manufacture it in the US. I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't even know if I'm going to properly finish this thing. Let me back up. Okay, so I'm working on Canticle right now, right? And Canticle is this bigger game. It's a much more ambitious game. It still is a game that I think it plays in under an hour, and that's the goal for the game. I don't want it to be like a big, huge, crazy thing, but it is a very hard design challenge with many, many small design challenges baked into it. And iterating on Canticle right now it takes like over a week. I have to play it a few times with other people, and I need to like process these long notes files and iterate and make a new version of it. And it's good. It's coming along. I have steady progress on it, but progress is slower now and it's harder. And the problems I have to resolve are deeper and knotty. Knotty, although could also be Naughty. Spelling a lot today. Okay, so what is Mudlarks? I was thinking a lot about these smaller card games that are quick to learn, quick to play, but go a lot deeper than you expect. And these games tend to be centered around one really interesting game mechanism. So one of them up here on my shelf is like Lost Cities. Really, really cool game by Reiner Knizia where it's super, super simple. You can learn it in under a minute. But what it does is it gives you this really, really simple and interesting trade-off with what you do with your cards. You just go back and forth. It's a 2-player game. You're playing your cards, and you can either play a card, you can discard a card, but the cards you discard could be picked up by your opponent, and they also reveal information about what you intend to do. And this one little simple mechanism makes the game infinitely replayable, and it is so fun and interesting. And every time you finish, you go, I want to play again because I'm pretty sure I can beat you this time. It's like fair, it's interesting, and because it's so focused and there's no fat on it at all, it just gives you this sort of crystalline, like, here's an interesting gameplay mechanism that you've never thought about before. So good. I actually haven't even played this other one, but the thing that triggered me to think about it was actually this other game that I was watching a video about. I was watching people play of the Duel for Cardinia, I think it's called. Game that came out last year, got great reviews. And the premise is each player has an identical deck, and cards have a power value, but then also an action. And you each play one card at a time, and whoever gets the higher value wins the hand, and whoever didn't win gets to take the action on their card, which is again just this like super interesting little simple mind game where you're like, oh wow, that's such an interesting trade-off. The cards have 2 different purposes. And you're kind of big braining what your opponent is doing. Really great stuff. And I've tried to make a few games like this in the past, and none of them really panned out. I prototyped them, but they weren't quite interesting enough, and so I abandoned them. And I made this one on a lark in a similar way, a mudlark, if you will. And it just turned out well. And it was like instantly kind of fun. And I was like, oh, there's something here, and I know how to make it better. And I was able to, it's so small, I was able to prototype it again and again and again, multiple times per week. And it's really easy to ask people to test it because I'm like, hey, it just takes 15 minutes, really easy, don't worry. Which that helps to make the development process go a lot faster too. So it's been fun to have Canticle and Mudlarks side by side to develop in tandem. I'm going to be talking about it a lot more on this channel, so I thought I'd introduce you to it now. And I'll tell you a little bit about it here. I'll tell you why I'm so excited about the theme, and I'll tell you why I'm so excited about the gameplay mechanism that I'm introducing here. Maybe I'll start with the theme and why I'm so excited about it. So in Mudlarks, you are a little gang of kids running around collecting stuff on the banks of a river. Probably going to be the Tennessee River because that is where I'm from, Chattanooga, Tennessee. And it kind of has this vibe of like the Goonies, Sandlot, Stand By Me, like these kind of ne'er-do-well kids running around in the summer, collecting stuff, trying to come up with the coolest collection of like random garbage that they found. This harkens back to like my time in Chattanooga as a teenager, where it felt like there was a lot of unstructured time to go like run around the river, or go to that weird little island that's in the middle of the river that you're not supposed to, go to this like rock quarry where there's like a bunch of stuff that people have left out there. And you're like, what is this stuff? Can I take it home? It was a really formative and fun time for me. And I got so excited about it. And I got so excited about the art. It's rare that I'm thinking about art and themes so early in the process. But once I got going on this, it was just really energizing. And I was like thinking about my own, teenage years. And I started going back to like rewatch The Goonies and Sandlot and all these movies to be like, oh man, I love this theme. I want art for this theme. And I started pulling all these references. So I got really excited about that. And that is part of what I'm so excited about in the theme. So you run around and there's these cards. There's just like 60 of them out there. And they have different types. So there's like nature, there's critters. Oops, I just dropped them all. And they also have a size. So they have a type and a size. And that's pretty much it. There's no other text on the card. There's going to be cool art. Like this is a lightning bug. It's a small critter. This is vines. It's big nature. There's also contraband. So you can find things you're not supposed to have, like fireworks and things like that. And then there's also doodads, which are like abandoned stuff, like pink flamingos, stolen stop sign, things like that, that you can find. And so pretty simple. It's just 2 vectors, size and type. And then the question of like, what do you add to your collection all depends on these like victory conditions. I call them these prize pools. And there's a bunch of them in the game. And you randomly draw these at the beginning. And so what they'll say is stuff like, this is the gardener. You win for having the most nature. This one is the choir boy. You win this one by having the fewest contraband. So there's like 4 of these out there, right? These are 4 different ways to sort of score victory points, and they're all different and interesting. But at the beginning of the game, this is worth no victory points. And so the way that it begins to gain value is that when you're playing your card, you could, add moss to your collection, your cash, to be counted towards the end of the game. Or you can stash it here in the prize pool and tuck it under here so that now the gardener reward grants 1 trophy, 1 victory point, basically. And so over time, these accumulate, and at the end of the game, if you are in fact the player who has the most nature, you win the trophies that are there. If you tie with somebody, you split the trophies that are there. So you're trying to find a unique angle into scoring victory points. But the tricky trade-off, the thing that is like so interesting about it from a game mechanic perspective to me, is you are constantly deciding, do I want to play this card into my cash to make my cash more valuable at the end of the game, or do I use it to make the prize that I'm earning more valuable? And if you over-index on either side, it's not going to work. You have to do both. And you also, obviously there's a lot of like social element here too, of like, oh, I can see what you're doing. I'm like wondering if you're hedging here. And you can also play these prizes upside down. So you can, instead of giving another trophy to, the gardener, you could play a negative trophy on the choir boy. So you see that somebody else is targeting this. You can make it so that their reward actually loses value or even goes negative at the end of the game. So this is like really interesting. This was the core idea that I wanted to do from a gameplay perspective, is like, you have this card. Is it more valuable to add it to your cash or to add it to a prize pool, because your cash is not worth anything if the prize pool isn't worth anything, but you're also watching what your neighbors are doing. You're trying to figure out what you can win. You're trying to bluff. And the one other wrinkle here, the one other thing you can do with your cards is that there are these special actions that are out there for the duration of the game. And as you can tell, they're modular. So there's like a bunch of red ones here. You just will like select one red one. And in this case, this red one corresponds with contraband. It says ransack. if you discard 2 contrabands, you can steal a card from an opponent's deck, or sorry, from their cache. Or, if you were to do discard 1 doodad, if this was the one that was selected here, you could recycle, which allows you to draw extra cards for each discarded card you have. So then it rewards you. It gives you a new play style to use these actions a lot, discard a lot of cards. You'll gain more cards in the long run by doing so. So that introduces this third vector where it's I can add a card to my cache, I can increase the prize pool for the end of the game, or I can just trash cards altogether in order to do these big, exciting actions. But there's no real luck of the draw there because everyone has access to these actions, and everyone has access to these actions. And there's a whole bunch of them, but you only draw 4 or 5 in a game, right? And so it's actually sort of modular and changes what you can do in a given game, and it totally changes the complexity, the complexion of what gameplay is like, and it drives different strategies. So I was super excited about this because this is so simple. This feels like something that I could finish this year. The theme and the future art of it is something that I'm already thinking about in my dreams. I'm so excited. And it seems like I have finally come up with a pub game, filler game, a short 15-minute game that I think I could sell for $20, that I could manufacture in the US and avoid tariffs, which would be awesome. And it's Mudlarks. I'm going to be talking about it a lot more on future weeks. So excited to share more soon.